Stop dancing in time.
I didn't dance this week.
You won as well.
We did win. I won everything at Salford. I won everything, Hannah. I won all the races. I won everything. I got to sit in the home end and annoy a child that was giving me shit because they went one up. But other than that, do you know what? It's frustrating. Yeah, we won, but to go away to Salford now and put in a semi decent performance, it's like why why weren't we grinding these out earlier in the season? Look, it's not mathematically over yet, but it is at the same time. Like it's one of those things where we're not equipped to go up, so best if we don't. There's a few of us around that point.
How many? Yeah. And some with delusions of grandeur. How many? Who have you got left?
So we have got Newport on the final day, Barrow next Tuesday, Walsall this Saturday.
Okay. Walsall have had a little bit of a dip as well, haven't they?
Yeah, Walsall have lost their last two. I mean, we're unbeaten in 4.
I noticed earlier that Donny are no longer top of the form table.
Who are?
Stockport County, promoted to League One.
And in 24 hours, 27 hours, the League 2 champions this season.
Let's just wait and see. It's because Notts County are up to 6th in the form table. They beat Walsall and Harrogate. I tell you what, it just shows because they've from their last six, they've lost 2, drawn 1, and won 3, and they are 6th in the form table. So it just shows you how badly some people's seasons are finishing off, and that was never more true. I think it's the second weekend in a row where pretty much everyone in playoff contention has lost, which is bizarre.
Not second week in a row, but
it was the Sutton. Yeah, it was the Sutton day. Sorry, it was the day that Stockport County played Sutton.
It was two draws in the playoffs, a loss, and then a win for Crawley.
The one that Barrow lost to Swindon. I think it was that week.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. No, they lost to Morecambe that week.
Oh, can't keep up. They're not having a great. So where are they? 15th. So they've lost their last 3: Morecambe, Swindon, and then Gillingham on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Let's talk Morecambe.
Okay.
Well, I say let's talk Morecambe. Let's not talk Morecambe. Let's relate to Morecambe in that Derek Adams.
Yeah.
Looks like Derek Adams is going to be unveiled at Swindon soon. He was at the game on Saturday. He was also at the Barrow game last week. So, and he's put on his LinkedIn that he's recruiting.
Yeah. I sent him a message. He's not got back to me.
Oh, he's got back to me because obviously the other week he messaged me while we were doing this.
I forgot about that. I went there.
We've been speaking, but he's keeping his cards so close to his chest. And I just messaged, I was like, Derek, I know it's Swindon. Like, stop pretending. Like, we all know what's happening. Let's talk about it. So, yeah, look, do you know what?
Because the other thing about that LinkedIn post was it was very much, I am coming in and I am building a team. Yeah. Which would suggest that they're having a cleaning of I don't know what they're having at Swindon. Spring clean. Yeah. Did you see that was on the BBC News website today?
Yeah.
League 2 News.
The club are still standing by what they said, which is that it's essentially, but again, they're using the same thing. It's got motion blur. Motion blur doesn't work if you're standing still.
No, but the other thing they said, and they showed a picture. I mean, it's damage control at this point, isn't it? They said that you can't actually, the way it's angled and the way there's some kind of something that stops the camera film. It's for the concourse and it doesn't film into the toilets. But the lady who complained, and it turns out that she is a kind of match day supervisor, steward, program seller type person at Wimbledon. So she's quite well networked, but also someone had contacted her and said, I complained the other week, and we knew this. People were telling us this over the weekend, but she's saying it's just as simple as putting a sign up. You might know the camera, but please rest assured that your privacy is our priority.
Or just make it really, really simple. Put a roof on that toilet.
Yeah.
Just put a full, literally get down B&Q.
Yeah.
Right. I did this little room in an afternoon. Right. This here, plasterboard. It cost me like £7 a sheet, and they're massive. One of them across that little bit would cover. They wouldn't need I've seen the picture, and it's just a grey rectangle over the screen where the toilets are. They wouldn't need that because there would be an actual grey rectangle there if they just bought this. But we all know that as a club that has a plumber as a CEO and a plumber as an owner and a CEO who's an electrician working on electronic cameras in toilets is definitely not their forte, is it?
It's not. I mean, we've had a lot of different headlines about Swindon this season, but that was one that I didn't see coming. But then neither did the ladies in the toilets.
It's just wild that they've kind of made that. Like, not only they should have just gone. Do you know what? We had a complaint a few weeks. In fact, when they had that complaint a few weeks ago, they should have just gone. Let's go get that camera down.
Yeah,
because it's not like they didn't know. They've painted it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, utterly bizarre. Sorry, back to Derek Adams.
Yeah, back to Derek Adams. So look, I was asked just on Saturday what my thoughts were on it. I still maintain I've got a lot of time for Derek Adams. I think if Derek Adams had stayed at Bradford, we'd have gone up last season because he is a second season man. And I say this to Swindon fans: if he comes in, give him the first season of. It'll be so hit and miss the first season. It usually is, unless he hits the ground running, but it'll be hit and miss. And second season, that's where you really judge him. You look at his career. I think Plymouth was his second season. Morecambe was his second season. I think his first promotion, well, Ross County might have been his second season, but he's always seems to have performed better second season. First season is kind of him finding his feet and understanding, what the fans want, what the club is about. We didn't give him that chance. No. Horse for you here, Hannah.
Oh, thanks.
And H likes my name.
Mm-hmm. It did make me laugh. I mean, the other thing about Derek Adams is obviously he left Morecambe. He was, I think, the first manager this season to leave a League Two club with another, to go to another job. I think we saw that Notts County, Luke Williams did the same, but afterwards. And he went to Ross County and was only there. I think he resigned in February, didn't he? They lost heavily to Motherwell, but I don't know. I mean,
it went in the press. Third
time back there. I don't know. Just
did you see what he said in the press about it?
No, I don't think so.
He threw those Ross County players under the bus.
Oh, really?
He said the standard here is worse than anything he's ever seen in League Two. He said it's appalling. He threw them under the bus. I mean, look, I'll say I know that there's another manager. It seems to there's some issues with teams, and I think kind of taking it seriously, if that makes sense. I know Ross County is also one that Derek Adams has done, but I know that there's a League Two manager involved at a club in the. Let me have a look at the table. I'm trying not to.
Well, in the middle, so when he left, he said, "I've left a side down in England's League Two that is miles better than this team," and that's saying something. We had the bottom budget in League Two, and we were 100 times better than this. Adams would later stand by his comments regarding the standard of Scottish football, but admitted regret in his comparison to his former employer and apologised to his playing squad for the comments, and then resigned on the 7th of February.
So, similar to what Adams said, a team in the current bottom 8 of League 2.
Thank God. Right, okay.
Okay, so who took on the job this season? So after the season started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In fact, all eight, apart from Newport. Yeah, so 17th downwards, all of them have had new managers. Okay, so one of those managers on his first training session pulled all the players together at the end, sat them down and said, you are training at a National League level. Sorry, National League. I don't want to say north or south, but one of those, because if I say one of them, it kind of splits it a bit more. But you are training at a National League X level. He said, this is appalling, and it's some of the worst I've ever seen.
Wow.
And that's, it kind of shows when you look at the table.
Oh, I know. I can guess who it is. Right. Anyway.
Yeah, you can guess who it is.
So I know why this is a rhetorical question, because Gav Gunning was a couple of weeks ago pretty clear that he thought he was staying.
Well, Zav Austin, who is absolutely in no way, shape, or form anything to do with Swindon Town Football Club, because
definitely
he can't be.
No.
But for some reason, this person who is absolutely nothing to do with Swindon Town Football Club, who has been at clubs this season as an away director for Swindon Town, which
introducing himself.
Yes, which is quite clearly an admin error. Zav Austin approached the start of the protest on Saturday, with information about what's going on at the club, and told them and said, we are sorry for how things have gone. This is allegedly. I don't think he actually said all of this. I think some of it's been disputed, but what I read was we are sorry for how this season's gone. We know there's been mistakes. And then I believe there's a manager who's proven at this level in place, and something about Gav Gunning going back to being part of the coaching setup. I don't know how much of that was actually true or how much people spun that, but that was kind of like the list. Okay. This man has nothing to do with Swindon Football Club. Clem Morfuni sat in that fans forum at the beginning of this year and was asked outright what Zav Austin's role is at this football club, and he said absolutely nothing. He's just he's just a friend who's helped me out in the past. Zav Austin also claimed to, and if they want to speak up in the chat, they can speak up in chat, and we can talk about it. I don't want to kind of say who it is without having permission, but Zav Austin, when asked who he was, said, I saved this football club. What a wanker.
All relative, isn't it? Wow. I mean, I suppose if Gavin Gunning is going back into some kind of backroom position at Swindon, then he was quite right to say, I'm still going to be here next season.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that they're not.
That's the weird part, though. He said, "I'll make sure that certain players aren't," which that again is a strange. It's a very, very, very strange thing for him to say. Someone just said here, we'll probably get a response in Forbes magazine.
It's been a while, so
yeah, it has been a while. Harry Brown says, "Can you stop slating my new League Two team, Swindon, if we get promoted?"
I love the caveat.
Billy Bantam set to become Derek Adams' fitness and conditioning coach after being scouted following his halftime race at Salford. It was come on, right? Let's just talk about that race, Hannah.
So I tried to I've got, well, you'd have it as well, so you could have done it. Will at Salford sent me the clip of the race at halftime on Saturday. That was my halftime entertainment as well. Liam had been talking about this before, and I mean, you are quite naturally very competitive.
What gives you that impression?
I mean, we will take down anyone that crosses our path.
Yes,
let that be a warning.
Yes, I will take us down to take them down. Can I just say as well, before people ask, I'm actually wearing Liv's clothes tonight.
Why would anyone have asked?
Well, no, because they might see this and go, "What the fucking hell is that?" So it was on the ironing, and I picked it up, and I thought it was just a grey T-shirt. So I picked it up and then turned it back inside the right way around, and I was like, "Oh, it's Liv's." And then I thought, "Nah, she wears mine, so bollocks. Payback time. I'm wearing Liv's."
Oh, it's thundering here. That was very dramatic.
We've had snow and hail and wind
have.
and rain today. This weather can get to shit. Right, go on, carry on. Oh, that is loud.
I know, right? Anyway, I can't remember what I was going to say.
It was Will sent you the video.
Yes, you were, you know, giving it large, but we didn't really know because the lion at Salford is also called Billy, which I didn't understand until I had to kind of read, because it sounded like Salford was signing up Billy the Bantam for pre-season. That's how I read it.
Which I would be open to negotiation.
Consider a transfer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Billy the Lion doesn't do as much billying as you do, I think.
Well, the guy had never done it, so
yeah.
Essentially, to give it, I knew about this race probably 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a conversation with Will. Do you fancy doing some at half time? I was like, yeah, not a problem. We got it all signed off, and then Friday evening, my phone goes, and it's someone from Salford. Like, my name's Andrew. Have you been told about the logistics of the race tomorrow? And I was like, logistics? Like, I normally just kind of turn up and just do what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, well, so what's happening is you and Billy are representing a fan each, and the winner gets £5,000 in vouchers. I'm laid on my couch. I've got, in fact, this is the remnants of it, because I finished it last night on the right. I finished it on the 606 last night. I was laid on the couch. I was halfway through this.
Oh, right. Thanks for clarifying that, because I just had visions of it like being out on the sides. And...
No, it's empty. It's no. I put it in the freezer, and I was sat and I sort of read the message. It was like, it's £5,000 vouchers, and I just went, oh. And then I started getting nervous, because then I was like, there's no way in hell that they are going to allow me to win. And I think I said this to you. There's no way they're going to let me win this.
How did they choose the fans that you were each allocated?
There was a competition that's basically led to it. And I was kind of like, shit, like there's no, they've got someone who can run to wear this suit. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get absolutely smashed here. So I got an early night, right? I was up bright and early in the morning. I had some breakfast. I never eat breakfast, but I made sure I got myself sorted. Set off in plenty of time. Yeah, got on the 62. Crash. Took me 2 hours to get.
I remember that part of the day.
Fucking fuming. Got there. Met the guy that was doing it, and I was like, "Oh, have you done this before?" He was like, "No, I only started at the Community Foundation recently. This is like my hazing." He went. Will came in and said, "I need someone to do Billy the Lion for Saturday," and no one volunteered. He said, "So I did." He said, "And now, yeah." And I was like, "Right." This guy was big, and as in like tall. He was taller than me, and I looked, and I'm like, I think he can run.
Did he have the Billy boots on? Because I've seen Billy with and without the proper Billy boots.
No,
he wouldn't have stood a chance.
He had his trainers.
Okay, good, because it would have been dangerous, probably.
Yeah, because they were the sprinklers were on that pitch, and it was going nuts. And I thought, I've got to get in his head. I've got to plant something in his head that gives him some doubt. And I said, look, if you've never worn this suit before, so I'll just give you some advice. When you start running, I said, the head will start to move, because to be fair, the way it shifts, it literally all shifts backwards. Your head goes back. And I was like, when you feel that head move, I said, be wary that it's probably going to fall off, so you need to grab it. So if you're watching the video, he starts running and immediately slows down and grabs the head. There's no way in hell that head is coming off, like, at all. And I knew that. And I know my head on it's not coming off. So I'm running I'm bobbing. It's not even attached to my head. And I just, when they said go, I just kept going. I couldn't see him. I didn't know if he was alongside me. I didn't know if I was winning. I didn't know if I was losing. I just kept going. And then I got over that finish line. All the kids chased me. One of them 2-foots me from behind. And you can see this
actually. If you have a look on the Salford City Twitter account at 10 a.m. on Sunday, that's when it was. Yeah, that's when it was posted. So if anyone
posted like a movie reel version of it,
you can see how much of an athlete Billy the Bantam is, and how very, very seriously you were taking it.
Oh, absolutely. And then the kids surrounded me. and you couldn't hear on the video what they were saying, but one of them went, punch him in the balls. So one of them did, but then someone headbutted me. But if you watch on the video blacks out as they all start kicking me in legs.
Yeah.
So I start pushing kids away. Like I had to. I just pushed them away, and then I went back up the other end and went to the Bradford fans. But
who were the kids?
Like the mascots for the day.
Oh right.
They were like, get him on the floor. It's like, not a chance. Like I will fight a child.
Oh my God.
So I went all the way back to the Bradford fans, and then I came off, got changed, went and spoke to Will, and Will just leant in and went, you brought your boots. Well, like, yes, too right. I wore football, but they thought I was wearing trainers. Like I had football boots on. I had Predators on. He was not catching me at all. He was wearing Jordans, I think.
Well,
he wasn't equipped to run. But yeah, I was gone. I'm unbeaten in races, Hannah. Actually,
genuinely,
as Billy, I'm unbeaten.
Vernon the Bear would have you.
Well, the Grimsby mascot the other week, obviously I know James who does the Grimsby mascot. He was like, oh, should we have a race at halftime? I went, absolutely not. No, we shall not have a race at halftime. First of all, because I know that he cheats. And second of all, I know that he runs a lot.
Well, the Grimsby mascot as well is like legs, isn't it? It's normal legs almost.
It's just a person. It's just like a bigger version of a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm unbeaten in races, but I'm very selective as to who I race.
Yeah. Well, that's the same. Like
exactly, got to be done.
I can beat my children at bowling.
Yeah.
Don't go bowling with anyone else intentionally.
Liv has barriers up, and I make her take them down if she starts winning. Because she starts getting cocky, like she'll get a strike, and I'll be like, Liv, it bounced 7 times on the way down. Yeah, but it still counts. I'm like, right, we'll take the fucking barriers down, then let's see how it really counts. And then she just gets a strike normally. So we fall out a lot. Harry said that Billy Bantam is quicker than Richard Keogh.
I still can't forget him at Forest, like just the state of his like demeanor and everything when he walked off the pitch at half time.
Yeah. We have been asked a football question, Hannah, which is, we're not just laughing often. What do we think on Paul Glatzel?
I have no opinion.
Glatzel or Glastull?
Well, like that, it's Glastull, but I thought it was Glatzel.
But I have not paid much attention. He, from what I've seen, he's doing really fucking well. He's 6 goals in 16 appearances.
Wow.
I think as far as players that have come in the January window and helped.
Is he low?
I don't know if he is. No, I don't think he is, but I think he only signed a 6-month deal.
Well, they did that with Williams Cocolo, didn't they? When he started, he had like a 2-month contract to take him up to the next transfer window, and then they extended it.
Yeah, but now, so Gunning said in the press last week that he believes that they'll struggle to keep hold of him.
Huh?
Which is, it's a risky run by giving 6-month deals.
Yeah.
But I think aside from Adelican at Doncaster, he's probably made the most impact from a January transfer this year.
Yeah, Adelican's been really impressive, hasn't
he? Yeah. Lincoln fans want him to stay. They want him to be offered a new deal over there because obviously he's out of contract in the summer. Donny fans want him to sign there. Liam Green says Crawley going up.
Well, let's talk about tomorrow's games then.
Yes.
Got a lovely segue into, there's 2 cracking fixtures tomorrow night. Hang on, let me get this all back up again. So at the bottom of the table, there's Colchester and Grimsby. So Grimsby are mathematically safe. And we discussed this before we started. It's down to goal difference, basically. Yeah. If Colchester gets a point, can you hear it?
Yeah.
If Colchester get a point, then that's Forest Green relegated. And Colchester have still got 4 to play and need 6 points to be safe. To be safe.
5.
5. And it's a maximum of 5, isn't it? Because it depends what else is going on.
if Sutton lose their next game, so if Colchester win, if Colchester beat Grimsby tomorrow, Forest Green are down.
Yeah.
If Sutton then lose on Saturday, Sutton are down.
I think having seen Forest Green, Colchester and Sutton play, as Mansfield fans, as Wrexham fans have done, I mean, it's shift for all three of them, isn't it, really, that they've had such a run. Forest Green would definitely the poorest of the three. And I think they have given up, haven't they? And you can see that in the scoreline from Saturday. I don't deny that Wrexham played well, but yeah, it's scorelines like that don't materialise just because of Paul Mullin.
Well, let's talk about that as well. We can't not mention that, as well as Stockport being promoted on Saturday.
Are we going to go back to the top? Let's just do the bottom first, and then we can do.
Spin them off there. Go on.
Right. Colchester were infinitely better than Sutton and Forest Green Rovers. Colchester last Tuesday night were incredible. They beat Crawley on Saturday, and I think that how it sits at the moment is how it will end. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I agree. Salford safe as well, which is something that we never discussed. They picked up there. Obviously didn't weirdly safe without having to win a game. They picked up 0 points since 23rd of March, but because Sutton and Forest Green kept losing, it's basically meant that it's out of their hands. Just on this, Ben, there, Swindon have an option on Glasgow. He's saying Glasgow as well. Maybe it is Glasgow. Confusing then there, Ben, is that why have they said that it'll be hard to keep him?
No, it is Glatzel.
It's Glatzel, guys. Yeah, just on that, Ben, why they said it's hard to keep him? Comment for you, Hannah. Looking forward to see you on the League One, lower league season, Hannah.
It's problematic because I need Burnley and not Burnley, Barnsley and Lincoln to go up for there to be a transfer.
Yeah. But no, you're not transferring. You're staying here, but you are going to run the League One.
We are having a 606, definitely. We're already building our little lineup.
Yeah, you've got a little team going. Which is going to be good. Yeah.
Right, so we can go back to the top now.
We don't need to, because there's a comment there for you. I haven't seen Steve Cotterell's interview.
I haven't either. But if it's anything like his interview after we played them on Good Friday, I really, like I said, Richard Keogh, I really felt for them. They are in a situation. They had some like 4 managers. Have you seen Hannah, what's her face, that was their manager in pre-season, has gone to women's football now. She's can't remember where she's gone, but it was a big appointment. Irish Women's FA, maybe. Can't remember. I might have made that up completely. But a big move for her. They've had 4 managers. There was the whole shenanigans with Troy Deeney.
That sent them down.
Yeah.
That sent them down. He brought Troy Deeney in knowing full well that he was going to put Troy Deeney as manager at some stage this season. And it has backfired massively. Brought him in as the main man. He was shite. He failed at a League 2 level. I mean, Troy Deeney's career is done now.
He wasn't. I mean, you could see it on the pitch. He was one of those players coming to the end of their career that could do 70 minutes on a really good day. Yeah. And you'd see him kind of slowing down even before that.
But couldn't compete against the more physical sides.
No.
Because they just bullied him.
And I would hope he will never get another managerial job unless, he does. And we've interviewed people like Ian Barraclough, David Artell, who've kind of gone back to managerial school and learned leadership and management approaches and they've done it from a kind of theory base, that's what he needs to do if that's in his future, or that's where he wants to go next.
Recognize his failures and work on them.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. H agrees with you there. Colchester are good. They should not be where they are.
Really shouldn't. And I'm sure that if things, I mean, they were helped by the Cowleys, but they also had a really strong transfer window in January. So it's a bit of both, I think. But I seriously think it sounds bizarre, doesn't it? Given where they are this season, and they've been down there all season. But I can definitely see them being contenders next season, providing they stay up, which although saying that, they've got Grimsby, but then who else have they got? Colchester, Notts County on Saturday, and then they've got Donny a week on Tuesday. And then their last game is at home to Crewe. So they've not got an easy run in at all. But they were really good against us.
This is in response to the question about, did we see Steve Cotterill's interview? How were his words any different from what Troy Deeney was saying? I haven't seen Steve Cotterill's interview, but I'm taking from that Steve Cotterill has essentially blasted the players.
Oh, really?
But the difference here... So I was going to say the difference here is that Steve Cotterill wasn't part of that playing squad, therefore wasn't part of the problem. Troy Deeney threw players under the bus. He's one of those. He was one of those players. He was one of the players that underperformed and put them in the position that they're in. So that's what the difference is for me. A manager can throw his players under the bus if it's the right thing to do, but a manager can't throw his players under the bus when he was a player 3 weeks prior. And that's what Troy Deeney did. Troy Deeney was part of the problem. He took himself out of the problem and then went, look at them, they're shit.
Yeah.
He was shit.
And I think as well, Troy Deeney's comments were entirely destructive. There was nothing constructive in there at all. Mm-hmm. And there may well not have been in Steve Cotterill's interview after Saturday. As I said, haven't seen it. Also haven't seen any reaction to it, which suggests that it was much more constrained than Troy Deeney's was. But the interview he gave after the Stockport game, he was talking about the confidence in the players, and he was drawing on his own experiences and how when he's lacked confidence, he's worked with it and accepted it and had approaches to counter it. If he's not seeing kind of any effort from the players to try and turn things around, then you can understand the frustration.
I think the thing as well is doing it when it's over is fine. Yeah. Doing it middle of the season when you've got a fight ahead of yourselves, that is very, very destructive.
Yeah. And at the time, they were going into a transfer window where Dale Vince had said that they were going to invest massively because he wanted to stay up. Yeah.
Harry's actually said, Hannah, he's going to be unavailable for the League 1 646 because he'll be in the League 2 one for Swindon. Harry, they won't be at the same time, mate.
They won't be at the same time because I can't be in two places at once, and I support Salford now.
Yes, I'm following Salford next season. I might follow Salford even though Bradford are still in this league. Ben has said that Gunning has backtracked saying he'll 100% be here next year, so Glatzel's staying now. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. We've got more congratulations for you, Hannah.
Oh, well, it's a perfect segue into Forest Green lost 6-0 to Wrexham, who I didn't quite realise the chain of events that needed to happen for Wrexham to be promoted on Saturday, because we needed a point. We were mathematically promoted, but not officially. So we needed a point. Wrexham needed, I think, Barrow and MK Dons to lose. And, given the I guess their deficit, because they've knocked a huge chunk off their goal difference now. But both Barrow and what have I just said? Barrow and MK Dons hadn't finished when the pitch invasion started at Wrexham, but were obviously fairly well positioned at that point.
Yeah, so it would have. No, it can't have been MK Dons.
Yeah, because... it was because so We Are Wrexham says Wrexham needed to. Oh, I've just done the wrong.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at Stockport. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, Wrexham Barrow and MK Dons could get to
Barrow not to win and MK Dons not to win.
Yeah, they could both get to 83 before Saturday, and obviously Wrexham are on 82. So it's
because Barrow particularly are like us, they've got a game in hand. So after tomorrow, we'll all be straight. Who are Barrow playing tomorrow?
Barrow won't. Barrow have got 2 in hand.
Oh yeah, Barrow have got Crawley. Oh yeah, because you're one. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I said I'd come to that now. I've got no plans next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah. So we'll do it. I think I'm going to possibly Billy as well, Hannah.
Oh God, I can be a minder.
Yeah, I've been invited to, so we can do a bit of both. We can do a live. We can get set up. I'll do the Billy before the game, and then we'll do live throughout the game.
Are there any other games that night? Colchester must have one, surely. Yeah, it's just Colchester, Donny, and Barrow Bradford.
Yeah. Jamie's just put here. Has anyone seen the Sly Sports interview? Interviewing Dave Challoner.
I don't think that's an accidental slip. I think it's Freudian.
Yeah. And they mentioned the Wrexham Vegas trip to him.
So they did. They talked about Wrexham, and then they said to Charlie, "Where are you going to take your lads?" or something like that. But
cheat them
like it is what it is, and there is definitely an argument that Wrexham have got, and we've talked about this a lot this season, that Wrexham have got a target on their backs, and playing Wrexham is everyone's cup final, and your home ground is full when it's not necessarily normally for some teams and all of that. But it's been on the BBC League 2 news page today. There are 3 Wrexham stories, a Stockport story, a Wrexham story, a Stockport story, and then 3 more Wrexham stories.
Yeah.
Maybe this is because it's more likely that Stockport might have more coverage to come over the next few days. Maybe.
I don't think
or it might just be. And, this is the Athletic. I read through the Athletic did a really, really long form kind of recap of the season. And I read through that today, and I've had an Athletic subscription for, I don't know, the last year. I genuinely really enjoy the content, but it's got to be a bit of a joke in terms of the amount of Wrexham coverage. But what always gets thrown back, which is probably true, is the volume of American subscribers. And, you say when you set up your subscription, like, which clubs you follow, which leagues you follow, and all of that, so it can send you personalized content. So, I probably see more of it than, I don't know, a Championship subscriber, because that's the League 2 content that they've got. And the new series of Welcome to Wrexham starts really early this year. It starts in May. So normally it's not till like October, November. Although I did see today someone complaining that all this discussion about Wrexham being promoted should be caveated with spoilers, because they were ruining Series 3 by talking about it. I'm not sure whether, like, is that a joke?
Get off social media. Idiots, man. This isn't it's not a show. This is the thing. It's not like a scripted show that someone's ruining for it. It's a documentary. It's real life. Like, if you, they must have been pissed when they watched Titanic and knew what was going to happen at the end. Like, they must have been fucking fuming. They won't watch any 9/11 films, Hannah, because they just know what's coming.
So Steve Bellis is the club president. He is. You've met him. For anyone who doesn't know the kind of inner workings of Stockport County, Steve Bellis has been at the club as long as I've been going. I was trying to work out the other day, like how old he would have been when I started going, and he must have been like in his 20s, I guess, but he still seemed like a grown-up to me because, you know, I was little. But after we won the National League, he took the trophy on a tour around Stockport for weeks and weeks and weeks. It basically was his summer, and he took it to pubs because he was very much of the opinion that it was the town's trophy. It wasn't the club's. It belonged to the town. And yeah, I can completely imagine he's already planning the trophy tour. I went to bingo last Thursday at the club with Lewis Cass, Rico Richards, Ethan Bristow, and Ethan Me. I'm sure that when they signed up for a career in professional football, they 100% expected that to include bingo on a Thursday night. But Steve then was already getting a little bit carried away. He needs, like, everyone needs to be as measured as me and, you know, cautious.
I like him. I do like him.
Absolutely brilliant, man.
I had some food with him at Bradford last season.
I remember.
I sat with him, and I think him and his wife, I believe it was, and I had a chat with them for a long time about a load of stuff, really. So moving away from the top, we've done the bottom, we've done the top. Let's talk about the middle.
Do you know what? After the horrors of last season's playoffs, I'm genuinely quite looking forward to the playoffs as a neutral. Like, really looking forward to it.
It genuinely, as it stands right now, the 4 teams in the playoffs, all 4 fan bases could fit in Wembley, and it would still be half empty.
Maybe we should, like, they should have a, you know, they could do all the games in I
have told Preston that I am going to Wembley as his guest if they get there. I want to just talk Gillingham for a second.
Yeah.
Gillingham have essentially conceded that their season's done.
Yeah.
That's bad. But for what they reportedly were spending, and, you know, you look at the likes of Johnny Williams and what they did to Bradford to get Johnny Williams, and Johnny Williams said they offered me more money. Like, fine, no problem. They've thrown a hell of a lot of money at this. They've done a Salford, thrown money at it, and it's not worked. And it kind of, it's a strange situation where owners come in and maybe don't know too much about it, and that they kind of think that that's going to fix all the problem. That is just the answer. Chuck a lot of money at it, but if your infrastructure is not there, look at Wrexham. They've chucked money at it since 2020 when they came in, was it? And they only got promoted last season. It took them a few goes. Chucking money at it at the very beginning doesn't always work. Again, look at Man City. Did it take them 4 years to win the Premier League?
I don't know.
I think it was 2012 they won it. I think they got invested in 2008 when they bought Robinho. But yeah, it doesn't always work that way. Newcastle again, taking over.
And the problem they'll have is they're coming into their 3rd season now. I mean, I know they only had half a year. They'll start to lose players who were ambitious, and they have got a really talented side. They've got some big names in there, and they will jump ship because, you know, everything that's happened this season with Neil Harris's departure. I mean, Brad Gallinson said the other week that they've got things wrong kind of off the pitch. They're doing a lot of good, but they've got things wrong in terms of,
which is refreshing to see as well.
It's kind of, it's a little bit more humble, isn't it? And, you know, Brad and Shannon are very vocal on social media, which is a little bit unusual as well. I don't know how I've not seen anything from the P attacks in Carlisle. It'll be interesting to see them in League 2 next season, probably again coming up against the Gallinsons.
Do you know what I want to see? Speaking of like owners and people that do things, and not just owners, but people that are high up in clubs. Do you know what I really want to see if you guys win the league? I want to see a Steve Bellis video where he's dressed as Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds keeps doing. I want Bellis Pool. Hashtag Bellis Pool. Guys, tag him. I want Photoshop it. I want Steve Bellis when you win the league in a Deadpool costume talking about how amazing, congratulating Dave Challoner and the boys. I want to see it. Because that would, let's be brutally honest here, Stockport and Wrexham have built up a rivalry now. There is a real rivalry there because it's gone on for what, 4 years now, but it's kind of got to a point where when you've achieved, they've been there, and vice versa. You've stopped them on multiple occasions getting
it's
that
weird
ending
rivalry. And I mean, it's not a geographical rivalry. It's only because of circumstance, essentially. And you know, they were obviously in the National League. So we had that season where we finished just above them. It came down to the last game of the season. And then last season should, you know, have been quieter and it should have died down, but you'd get the like FA Cup draw was at Wrexham and people would be booing Stockport County. It's weird. And both teams or both fan bases kind of talk about, oh, you're just trying to force a rivalry. You just like, but it comes from both sides. And I mean,
we have it with Carlisle.
We're as bad. Like we paid, I say we, the fan base, a section of the fan base, paid for a light aircraft to fly over the race course after we've been promoted, with a banner saying cheers, thank you. So I think it is what it is. And, you know, I've changed my opinion, I suppose, in the last year. Like I've got to know Stace really well and, you know, a few others. And we said last week, I'm going out in Wrexham next Saturday night. I don't know what could possibly go wrong. It'll be fine. The only good thing is that I'm having a really dramatic haircut next Tuesday. So hopefully no one will recognise me. I'll get away with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're not going live between Tuesday and...
No.
Just on Wrexham fans. So that I've said from the beginning, like those that have been through the shit, absolutely, they deserve this. What I have to say is, and I'm really confused with what Wrexham fans are doing to me at the minute. So at the beginning of the season, Ollie Palmer gave his interview where he said, we're definitely going up. You know, we want to go up as champions. We're definitely going up. That's definitely happening. And I quoted it and said, this has been pinned up in every dressing room in League Two. And now Wrexham fans are quoting that and going things like, this aged well, didn't it? It's like, well, yeah, because it's still, regardless, like, it did. Like, it was pinned up in dressing rooms, and that's why you're not top of the league. That's why you've not walked this league. You should have walked this league with the budget that you've got. Yeah. It's factual. That was every manager's team talk this season was what Ollie Palmer said. I wasn't saying it wasn't going to happen. I was just saying that it was. They've basically put. We talked about the target on the back. They put it there. Ollie Palmer put it there.
That's why their away form has been so bad. Because, like I say, full stadiums, sold out stadiums. I went to Salford, Wrexham, and I've never, you know, even against County, I don't think I've ever seen the home end as full as it was. But yeah, I mean, they're 8-1, I think, favourites to win League One next season. We're 20-1. Rotherham were in there as well, I think.
One actually, just on that, Hannah, and this is why people I think get pissed off. Somewhat, they're kind of rewriting history here, because someone today on Twitter said next season everyone will write us off again and say that we're going to go straight back down like they did this season. Not one person said Wrexham were going down this season, or if they did, they weren't serious.
No.
Like, don't rewrite it to be something that it wasn't. Like, we all knew Wrexham were going to be
there or thereabouts.
Yeah. It's just fucking wild. Ian has a question, Hannah. Question for the hosts and those in chat. What is the best game you've seen this season? Doesn't have to have been a win. Also, cup games. Yours is going to be Wrexham at home, innit?
Yeah.
It has to be, yeah.
Sutton at home was pretty impressive as well. But Wrexham, do you know what? Actually, I genuinely didn't enjoy that game. I remember someone saying, because I was so convinced that we were going to lose, and I remember going into it and someone saying to me at half time, oh, you must feel okay now. And I was like, no, I've seen Wrexham's comebacks this season. It was just after the Swindon one.
It was Ben you were talking to.
I was like, no, I'm not okay. I just sat there in kind of disbelief the whole time. So yeah, for that, I think probably Sutton.
Yeah. Well, mine's split between two. As far as like a win and a performance from us was MK Dons at home. Like we were, it was just nice to see after what we'd gone through, and probably Tranmere at home, but what we'd gone through, we went into it with no expectations. We got smashed by MK Dons away from home, and we really did turn up that day. As far as a complete performance, it's Mansfield at home. Like what Mansfield did to us was, it was awful to watch. But then when you kind of got over the fact, when we got 3-0 down, it was like, okay, we've lost this game. Let's have a look at what's actually happening. And I started watching. That's where I watched Boateng, and I was like, that for me is the best performance I'd seen all season. So yeah, Mansfield at home probably takes it for me.
We've not done Mansfield yet. I saw Harry complaining. We've kind of, because we've done top and then we've done
talk about it.
Mansfield, but they've not actually done anything yet.
Yeah, he don't want us to talk about anything. He wants us to be quiet and leave it.
So Mansfield play Accrington Stanley tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they need 1 point, I think, for promotion.
Let's have a look. Yes, but not confirmed. They won't be confirmed if they draw.
No, but they've got a goal difference of +41, and MK Dons are on +13.
Yeah. So they would be, but they wouldn't be confirmed tomorrow.
No.
Look, Mansfield, realistically at this stage, they need to go into this and win. They do. They really need to win. There's a question here. Hannah, you can answer this because it'd be a bit biased for me to answer. Worst fans from Bradford, Doncaster, or Carlisle?
Currently Doncaster.
So we said, and we say it on the 606 all the time, guys, don't get carried away because you're setting yourself up for next season. Today, I have witnessed Doncaster fans talking about the playoff final. Then a Doncaster fan.
I know what's coming.
Do you which one?
The one where they said we're being with a shout next season to win League One.
Yes, with the dark horses to win League One next season. Guys, like, this ain't a knock, but fuck me, keep that lid on.
A little bit
a bit
humility.
Yeah, just like, you're not even in the playoffs yet. Like, I'm not saying you're not going to, but come on. Like, someone to be saying that, someone literally said this. Oh, the other one was we're the team to fear in the playoffs. MK Dons will be I'll have a hangover from losing out on the automatics, and the other three are pub teams. I was like, how those other three teams have been above all season. Like, have some fucking respect.
Yeah.
You know, Crew are currently 6 points ahead of you. You've got Barrow 4 points ahead of you, like the 3 points ahead of you. Sorry, like they pub team or not, some respect there. Like, and it's not all of them. Don't get me wrong, it isn't all of them, but
no.
Yeah, like I say, I think I agree with it. Right now, it is.
But just like it's not all Wrexham fans, and it's not all Carlisle fans. Every fan base has their knobheads.
Yeah, we've got Bradford fans that still think we're going to make the playoffs. You know, and they're kind of justifying it. And it's like, just come on, guys, let's rebuild. Let's go again. We know what we've got to do. We know where we've seen where our performances have come from, and we know what we need to do to kind of push on. But yeah, look, we're welcoming Carlisle back next season, which is a sheer delight. On the Wrexham thing, I said it last night, and anyone who didn't listen to 606, someone asked me why Wrexham fans aren't more up in arms about the loan situation from the owners. Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And my real thought to that is that the majority that kind of joined when Ryan Reynolds and Rob the other one, I'm not going to name him, I'm just going to say the other one, came in, those same fans will leave when those guys do. So it's not really their worry. It'll be the ones that were there that will have to pick up the pieces. And it's,
But at the moment as well, they're living the high life, aren't they? They're, you know, it's what, like, you kind of like, it's like a payday loan. You kind of worry about it. It's the instant gratification.
Problem for future Wrexham.
Yeah. And future Wrexham might be in the Championship or, you know, or higher. So
I live my life that way. Like, I realise, like, I despise both past me and future me. Like, the only perfect version of me is right now, because I will do something and think that's a problem for future Liam. But then when I am future Liam, I look back at past Liam and go, what a knobhead. Like, I hate both past me and future me, but right now I like the me that I am. That just, in 10 seconds, I'll hate me again. I'll hate this current me. So, yeah, it's Bradford 1, Swindon 0. That was a poor performance, but, you know, Bobby Poynton, fair play. We'll take it. Question for Liam. Last night on the 606, you said you'd talked to yourself from Salford and never said what it was about. Or did I actually not finish that story?
No, I don't think so. I just assumed it was you being intentionally vague again.
Oh, no. We just spoke about the Doncaster situation. Like, where
when he got sent off, hadn't he? Wasn't that?
It was banned, yeah. So we were chatting in the tunnel. We were chatting in the tunnel at full time. We were just talking about the league table and like where Doncaster have kind of been and where they've gone to. That's all it was. It wasn't really like a.
Theo Snell is an absolute workhorse. I've never seen anyone perform like that Peterborough game that we went to.
When he got injured.
Was absolutely insane. Like 120 minutes in, he'd been injured and nearly had to go off, and he was playing through obvious agony, but and just
still man of the match.
It was cruel, that game.
Yeah, it was.
Are the referees in League One better than League Two?
No. Same referees. It's the same referees. They don't. They kind of flip between them. So I have something to tell you, and I can't remember who told me this. So it might have been you.
There's a lot of that at the moment. Someone told me on Saturday night that so-and-so signed a 3-year contract. All right.
Oh, no, this isn't contract. This is to do with referees.
Okay.
And I can't remember who told me it, and it might have been you, so we'll find out. And it's to do with National League referees. So
it was me.
Oh, is that
I think it was you. I think it was me.
Was it about the assessors?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right. So that's huge. If that's legit.
Yeah. I'm seeing the lad who told me I'm going to Wrexham with him on whenever it is, a week on Saturday. So
we can talk about it, can't we?
Yeah. So it was. Go on.
No, you do it, because I don't remember all of it. I just remember.
No. So it was at the National League level, the club chairman and the managers do the assessment of the referees. There aren't independent assessors, and they would allegedly kind of cotton on to who were the stronger referees and would mark them more harshly because they wanted to keep them in the National League. And the ones that they really didn't rate, they would effectively score them higher and promote them to the Football League so that they didn't have to worry about them anymore.
And that is why we're in the mess we're in. I have a question for Liv.
Hi,
Liv. Why is your hand brown?
She's eating all your Easter chocolate.
She's eating all Ella's Easter chocolate. Ella's was milk chocolate, like the white Milky Bar one. And Clem has, according to Jason, Clem has confirmed he'll be at the Swindon game on the last game of the season. So
he's going to introduce Derek Adams on the pitch.
That's what he did with Flynn, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did Flynn last season.
Homecoming, and everything will all be forgiven.
Yeah.
And he's just Clem.
Cheers, Liv. Liv's tanned. She is not. I made a comment about Liv yesterday, and she fell out on me in the car. About being tanned. She said that was really nasty. Yeah, I wish Jason. Yeah, I mean, look, I hope Clem does come to the last game of the season. I think he needs to face the music with what's gone on. It's been a shit show, an absolute shit show. Has anyone got any other subjects that they want us to cover before we wrap up? Liv says, "Don't you dare." I won't dare, Liv. I've got to live with you. So yeah, let's see. Anyone else got any other subjects that they want us to cover? Are you now you know you're not going to be in League Two next season? Are you looking forward to League Two next season more?
I don't know. I don't feel like I am quite. I think I'm quite diplomatic. I don't generally kind of hold grudges against different teams, like because of county things. So my take on different fan bases, and like I think I appreciate League Two for all its kind of quirks, and I think the higher up the football pyramid you get, you lose some of the silliness from League Two, but because there's not that much of that at Stockport County, it's quite easy to be like slightly detached from it. So I think I'm looking forward to still knowing everything that's going on. And I promise not to, when we started doing the League One podcast, we had people who were League Two fans and they just spent their whole time talking about their League Two team. So I promise not to do that on any League Two coverage next season. I am very, very excited about the playoffs, but just because we're not involved in it. Whatever happens over the next week, we're promoted, and that's genuinely all that matters to me. The playoffs last season was horrible, absolutely horrible. I don't want to. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But that was because of the nature that we lost in, I suppose.
And I think the good thing is that if either Crawley or Barrow get to the playoffs final, we can go to Wembley.
Totes. I think I'm going to go anyway.
We can go as press though.
And I'm going to go to the Women's FA Cup final. I'm already in that mode. I was saying this to Stace this morning. I'm already in that mode now where like I'm kind of planning things over the next few months, because there's going to be this massive, this is so really tragic, this massive like void in my life that is filled by football at the moment.
We've got the it's the Euros, isn't it?
The Euros. Well, Harry said that to me, but I'm just not that bothered.
Sure. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do a Euro League look?
Oh, we could do, couldn't we? I'd be shit at it though. I'm not the
best. But that's what would be funny. That's what'd be hilarious, I think, because we would just wing it. Yeah, no. We could do them live, Hannah, and we could do what we did with the watch along and have people reporting in on games. We won't have to actually do it all. We could just report on the games we want to.
It would be. I would be horrible at it, but it will give me a project. So yeah, I'm in.
Did you say the Women's FA Cup final you're going to?
Yeah.
So speaking of the Women's FA Cup final, from somebody who's going to it to somebody who will definitely not be going to it, we've been given a subject. Will Mark Cooper manage again in the EFL? Absolutely not. In my opinion, he shouldn't be even allowed to manage in the National League South like he has been doing, and definitely not in the National League. He hasn't gone on any sort of courses or anything like that. Like he hasn't. For me, he's on that list with John Yems. That they shouldn't, like that's it. And Troy Dean is just a dick, but he's on that list with John Yems for me, where football's a privileged position to be involved in any way, shape, or form. When we get to do the things that we get to do, and we go and do, like when we did press for like commentary for Peterborough and Salford, like you're in a privileged position, and if the second you burn that bridge, it's done.
Yeah.
And you don't rebuild it. It's very, very difficult to get back into. And I don't think Mark Cooper should be in football. Like, no, not if we're serious about like the Her Game 2 stuff and women in football and things like that. He just same to Joey Barton. That was it. He's a knob and all.
You sounded quite Mancunian then.
I was yawning.
That's right.
I was stifling a yawn while I was talking.
Right, but this, I'm very much not looking forward to Exeter away on the Croft coach, but that's what you start doing, don't you? So I'm like, right, things to look forward to, new kits. I'm manifesting a pink Stockport County kit. Football, the fixture list. But apparently last season, I don't remember this, it didn't come out until like the end of June.
Yeah, it was quite late. It was quite late because people were complaining.
Season doesn't start this year until August 10th.
Right, so it might be even later. People were complaining last year about like a away trip, like if we're going to be on a long away trip on the first game. Speaking of kits, I've got a funny feeling Bradford's is going to be claret and amber.
No,
not putting money on it. Don't quote me, because I know how you fuckers love to quote me on stuff, even shit I ain't said. By the way, that guy's still going in my DMs about something I didn't actually say. Yeah. Anyway, it's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Bradford's gonna be claret and amber. Maybe watch it won't be now.
Or amber and claret. I mean,
amber and claret could work. 20th of June for fixtures for next season.
You see, that's too long to wait. It's April.
Yeah, but you think about it, right? So we've got 2 weeks left of the season, right? Then we've got the playoffs, which are going to take us. So we're looking at another month. So we're looking around like the 12th. Well, it's the 19th of May, isn't it? The final. So that's 5 weeks from now.
So no, the playoff final's earlier than that.
It's 19th of May. That's what Donny fans are saying, that they're going to Wembley on the 19th of May.
Oh, yeah. Because it was the bank holiday weekend last year and it's earlier.
Yeah, genuinely, that's what they're saying. They're saying, like, because I when I made the joke on about the 606 last night, Donny fans need not apply. One of them replied saying, don't worry, we'll be booking our hotels for the 19th of May. So that's the 19th of May. Then we've got the Euros in that 4-week window, and then the fixtures.
Yeah. And your man, whose name I've forgotten again, he can't start doing his fixture list until all the teams have all the playoffs are finished.
Imagine the pressure.
Oh. I'm going to hunt him down. I know I said I was going to do this last season and I didn't. That's going to be my project for the next few weeks.
Try and get him on. Let's try and get him on and have a chat. Obviously, he'll be a bit busy.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong time of year to ask, actually, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, but it most definitely is. But yeah, and then you've got your
pre-season tour. Yes.
I hope we do an actual abroad tour this year.
Where did you go last year?
Bradford Park Avenue. No, we went to Spain, but we played one game in Spain. Being honest, it was a bit, from what people said, it was a bit of a shit show in the sense of.
Was it Bradford that did the Spain tour where you had to do it through the club and it was like a pack? Right. Okay.
Yeah. To buy it as a package. And that was where people were pulling up the company that were booking it through and were like, this is a brand new company that's been set up out of nowhere. And then that company's liquidated as soon as it's over. And it's like, what's going on here? Fuck knows. But yeah, but I can't remember who we were supposed to play, but the game got postponed, and then we ended up playing Getafe.
I do remember that,
and we got smashed. And a fan ran on the pitch and confronted Harry Lewis because there were the rumours of the Barnsley move. But at that stage, Harry already knew that it wasn't happening; it had been declined. So Harry was like, in his head, it was done, but for the fans, they'd only found out that day. And it was raw. God's number 9 to the EFL this season. Mike Fondop.
Paddy Madden's already in the EFL.
No, Hannah, do not take Mike Fondop's name in vain. Because here's the thing for Ash and for all the Oldham fans that came at us in pre-season. Mike Fondop is apparently scoring 40 goals this season, Hannah. Now, he's currently serving a 3-match ban, right? Right. So Mike Fondop, I'm going to just pull the official numbers up because I want to make sure I'm just looking on the top scorers. He's not on the top scorers charts. Okay. Scroll down.
Chris Clark coming to County. That would be nice.
Apparently he's going to, Notts County.
No, he's going to Chesterfield.
Depends. I think it depends who we ask. Everyone feels different. Okay, so Mike Fondop needs to, he's currently banned, so I believe he can only play one more game this season, which will be the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Fondop needs to score 33 goals on the final day to reach the 40 goals that they told us he would. He's saying here he's not had the game time, or he would. He's played 30 games. He's played 30 games. Regardless, he should be on more than 7. He's got the same number of yellow cards as goals. No, I love Mike Fondop, but he'll stay in the National League with you, because you guys aren't going anywhere either. Right. We got what else we want to talk about, Hannah?
No, I'm just happy to go back to not being able to sleep again for maybe the last night.
I just don't. Yeah, I'm fucking fed up of just same old. Like every year I get excited, and then come this point, I'm at the same stage now. Last season was an anomaly, but aside from that, it's just kind of I'm used to being just where we are. It's nice. I love League Two. It's a good job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chesterfield are currently losing, by the way, to Gateshead.
Who's likely to be in the league, the playoffs?
So Barnet and Bromley are currently quite a bit ahead of. Well, no, they are the second and third team, so they play in that semi-final of the playoff.
Yeah.
And then you've got Altrincham, Solihull, Gateshead, and Halifax, who are all in the in the playoffs. Halifax need, if I'm reading this right, 5 points from their remaining 3 games, and then they'll be solidified in the playoffs. Yeah. 5 points from the last 3 games, guaranteed. And that's only if Aldershot win all their games. But yeah. Look, I mean, looking at this, being brutally honest here, we know Chesterfield are up, but whether it's Barnet, Bromley, Altrincham, Solihull, Gateshead, Halifax, Southend, or Aldershot, that is a team
category, not Oldham. I just wanted to check.
So Oldham can get to 68 points, which so technically they could scrape that last place, but Halifax would need to lose the last 3, Southend the last game, and Aldershot the last 2. If Halifax get 2 points out of their last 3 games, it puts them ahead of where Oldham can get. So no, but what I mean by that is, out of those 8 teams that I've just listed, that's a very, very nice away day.
Yeah.
For League Two next season. I pray and hope to God it's Halifax. Because, like being honest, I don't remember in my lifetime Bradford Halifax being in the same league. We've played in I think we played in the FA Cup first round.
Are you
possibly.
Friends?
Apparently not. They weren't.
No.
In the apparently it was quite bad in like the 80s, but no, I would love to see Halifax in League Two with us. I think it'd be amazing, because you know what, there's like 9-10 miles between the grounds. I live pretty much between both of them. Like, it would be incredible, and I like the share. We've both got shit pitches, and we both are continually overshadowed, or we were continually overshadowed by rugby teams who have fallen to shit now. So yeah, a Halifax Bradford derby would be amazing. I think it'd be that, for me, would make it really exciting then, for like, because I haven't had a real exciting feeling for the league for a long time, because we never have anyone that would consider a rival near us. Obviously, Harrogate keep calling it a Yorkshire derby, and it is a Yorkshire derby, but it's not really. And yeah. So yeah.
Oh, do you know what? The thing that Charlotte is, when Charlotte realised that we weren't playing Harrogate next season away, she was genuinely really disappointed. So I might have to
Salford.
Keep
Salford,
an eye
Harrogate.
out for Salford Harrogate or Bradford Harrogate.
I had Salford chips on Saturday, Hannah.
Were they good?
They were actually incredible. And again, this is how little I took the race seriously. Before the race, I had a cheeseburger, chips, a bag of Haribo Tang Fat Sticks, and a Yorkie, as well as a hot chocolate and a bottle of Vimto.
Yeah.
And then I went and got changed and ran that race. So
you're basically keeping Salford afloat financially.
Pretty much, yeah. Gary Neville came out and shook my hand personally, said thank you. Yeah. He said you've actually signed, you've provided Elliot Watt's signing on fee for next season.
No.
No, he didn't say that at all. But Callum Hendry. I think he's staying. No, I don't know. I don't know if he is. I think he stays. I think he stays at Salford. Me, I really do. He seems to be so happy.
And you know, they are, him and Elle are incredibly lovely young men who deserve to be happy wherever.
Well, that's the thing. On Saturday at the game, Elliot was obviously banned, but he had his family with him, the baby, his missus, his kid was a mascot for the game. It's like, yeah, it's like maybe it's not all about money for him. I wouldn't begrudge Elliot Watt going up to League One. He absolutely needs to if he wants to put his football first, yes, do it. But if he's happy with where he is and his family are happy, stay. Like,
or maybe it was like a last hurrah on the pitch for the family because they're going 13 miles down the road.
Surely he's not going to sign for Rochdale.
Yeah, they've promised him that they'll get up to League Two next season.
One of the richest clubs in the world now. One of the richest clubs in the world. Right. Other than that, guys. Yeah, Ian's just said there. You go tell Charlotte she got Blackpool instead of Harrogate.
She is. We did talk about Blackpool actually. Where else did we talk about?
I'm going to come to some of your games next season. I'm going to come to a Huddersfield game.
Well, they might be like next season. We might be all over the place in terms of. I mean, there's 5.
Yeah, they're going to move a lot of games.
5 games across League One and League Two
every
on
week,
TV.
Yeah. Every midweek game on TV, every Carabao Cup and every Papa John's on TV. But I will say Huddersfield, Hannah, I've already got the relationship there. We have press access. We have press access at Huddersfield, and they do. Hannah, I've tell Charlotte she doesn't need to worry about Harrogate because do you know what Huddersfield do? They do a cup of roast potatoes with beef brisket, slow cooked beef brisket and gravy.
Wow! Oh, Wigan.
It's good.
It was Wigan that she was talking about because they do their like pie balm thing, don't they? Which apparently they do at Oldham as well.
And Rochdale.
And do they?
Yeah. Actually, I got told off for eating it with a knife and fork.
Right. Should we say goodbye for the 3rd time?
For the 3rd time, but not the last time this season because we've got 2 more shows, Hannah.
We're bloody doing the playoffs.
Yeah, but we're not doing like a weekly podcast on it. We'll just do like a catch up.
We could do it like we did it last season and have because we were both
last season.
We were like
we were in it, so we gave a shit. We gave a shit. I think we pick a team each for the playoffs.
Deal.
Right. Okay, we'll deal with that. Right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.